How's it going, everyone? I thought I'd make a video just sort of talking about some of the East versus West. I'm sure you're seeing it everywhere online at the moment. Yeah, sort of sad times, I'm afraid. Sad times. It's difficult to know where to start, to be honest. I started watching arm wrestling a very long time ago. Um, it was probably pre WAL. So, I was watching some of the early Arm War stuff and there's Lottie Tour stuff and PAL, WAF. I was watching a lot of that, and then obviously WAL came around. Um, since then, obviously we've had a lot of different other organisations that have came to fruition. East versus West being the most prominent and the highest level at the moment. Um, from what I've gathered, I do want to say a couple of things. I just feel like it's, as part of the arm wrestling community, as part of an arm wrestler, and as part of a member, and someone that's been involved, sort of even in the profession itself, I feel like it's important to get off my chest. Sort of what I think about things and where it can go. So, from what I've gathered, Engin's now left the East versus West. He sold 100% of the company to Robert Baxter and to Dexter. Um, do I think this was a good idea? I mean, you know, I think I think time's going to tell this one. Um, Personally, I think it's been needing to happen for a long time. I don't think, although Engin has been able to bring it together and sort of bring together what we have currently, um, I'm honestly not very happy with what we have in regards to the production of East versus West. The match is great, like setting it up and everything. I know it takes a lot of effort. I've been there myself. I sort of seen the ins and outs. It is a tough, tough job, and hats off to Engin for being able to do that and pulling it through all this time. I do want to clear up the fact that all the athletes have been paid from East versus West. That was something that was previously a problem with King of the Table before Engin took over East versus West. So all athletes in East versus West, to my knowledge, have been paid. So that's one argument that I suppose could get out of the way. Um, I don't think Engin is the best man for the job in this particular role that he's in. I am not really happy with the way that the production is going at the moment. There's a lot of issues, and I don't feel like Engin and even Robert Baxter jumping on the mic every 5 minutes in between the matches. That shouldn't be happening. An organizer should not be getting into that. That's why we have Neil. That's why we had Ray. Where's Ray gone? Like I'm sure he's got a lot to say. I have watched the live stream with Henry as well. If you haven't watched that already, I'd definitely go and check that out. It's 8 hours, but there's timestamps. I think it's pretty uncool of Engen to just get rid of Ray for the Mac event. Um, I think that was really unprofessional. Although I think Ryan is doing a wicked job, I don't think that was the way to go about it. A lot of people liked Ray. He was a big ambassador of the sport, and he brought in a lot of views and clicks, and he was very knowledgeable about the sport as well. And I don't think that was the right call. Um, Engen himself is a very sporadic person. He needs a lot of validation from a lot of different people all the time, and I feel like he's very ego driven. And I don't feel like this is somebody that should be in charge of something of this caliber. Now, I feel like maybe his communication with some of the athletes, especially on the sort of Eastern European athletes, is very good. That's something that we do need. Um, but you can't have your cake and eat it. If you've sold the company, you cannot have a say longer in that company. It is done. You are finished, and you can go and retire. And going to wish you all the best. Go and do your thing now, man. But for all the athletes to leave, I feel like this has been a big mistake. I don't get this fucking Me Too movement that's happening. Um, Boycott Robert Baxter and Dexter for what? You're still contractually obligated. You know. Um, I just don't feel like this is moving arm wrestling forward. For me, you should be able to arm wrestle any point, anywhere, anytime you like. I understand that there's difficulties when you're at such a high level. I understand that. I understand that. And I know there's a lot more to it in the business side of things, but that is something that I feel like Robert Baxter should now be sort of taken into account and handling, along with a new team of people. We need a new production team. I am not going to spend my money anymore on East versus West until we can solve all the little problems that are going on. I was waiting for 2 hours. I know everyone else was waiting for 2 hours as well. It's not good enough. It's just not good enough, and it's not moving arm wrestling forward. This video was not meant to really be a rant, so I do apologize if it's coming off like that. But it's just a lot of things that have been in the works for a while that I feel like I've been needing to get off my chest. I don't think that we should be having audio problems. I don't think that the lighting's very good. I don't think that the organizers coming up and talking on stage is good at all. I don't think that Michael Todd and whoever else that should be able to call up Engin after a call, and Engin can review the footage, and automatically the referees now don't have a job. I don't think that the organizers should be reffing anything. That is up to the referees. That's why you've hired them. That's why they're there, and that is their job. You should not be getting involved as a organizer, especially on the day, with that sort of thing. End of story. It really is a bad look for East versus West. There's a lot of dead air in between matches, I've noticed as well. Neil doesn't look like he has a fucking clue sometimes what's going on, which is a shame because it's not getting relayed. The information isn't getting relayed, and he's just sat there, and it just looks unprofessional. And we've had 18 East versus West to figure this out. I firmly believe that the pinnacle of production was WAL. That genuinely is what I think. I love the crowd around everyone. I think everyone chanting and screaming. I understand that there's obviously that wasn't necessarily a real crowd, but I like that style. That's what arm wrestling is. It's a grungy fucking pub sport. Like, I know it's moved on from there, but let's not forget our roots, man. Like, this is like, it's meant to be cool. It's meant to be accessible. It's meant to be, you can take it anywhere and do anything with it. And I just don't feel like it's working right now. I don't feel like it's working right now, and it needs to be fixed. And I'm really actually quite pissed off that I had to wait a total of about 2.5 hours with the power surge halfway through as well. This just shouldn't be happening. And honestly, I can understand why people want refunds and just are boycotting East versus West, because it shouldn't be happening at this level. It shouldn't be happening. And I do understand the apologies, but that's not going to get anyone's money back. Like, I thankfully am in a position where I've got a job. I'm not in a sort of, third world country where I'm working all day for no pay, and then all of this timing. I'm lucky with the timing as well. I live in the UK, but some people work really, really hard for this and pay good money to see this and to see their idols perform. And if you're just going to get stuff like that, it's just not worth it. It's not worth their time, and it's not worth making. It's just not good enough. It's not good enough. In regards to Engin leaving, I think the guy is got a lot of problems. I think he's quite driven by everyone else, and he's very narcissistic, and he constantly needs validation from other people. Although this can work in some business practices, being the face, the frontier, the head man of a sports and an athletic point of view, it's not working. It's not working, and it hasn't been working for a while. I'm really glad that Robert Baxter managed to save sort of some of this. But again, I don't think Robert Baxter should be getting involved and jumping on the microphone and everything like that as well. I just don't think that the organisers need to be playing that part. That's why you have announcers. That's why you have Neil. That's why you have all these other guys. That's why you have Ray. That's why you have Ryan. That's why you have even Auden, Travis, Michael Todd, Devin for that matter. You don't need to be doing this as an organizer. It really makes a place look unprofessional, and it doesn't work. To all the athletes that are leaving with Engin, I don't, like I previously stated, I don't quite understand why that's happening. This doesn't push the arm wrestling sport into anything, really. I do understand that there's obviously problems with the venue, and now with Vitali and Devon. Listen, Devon will pull Vitali anywhere, anytime. I'm telling you, man. He wants this match, and if he wants it, he'll go and get it. Like he will go and get it, one way or another. It'll get sorted. So I don't know why this has all been called off immediately. I think it's really shit, and it's all sort of blown up out of nowhere. I think them bickering about it and you see them falling out online. You see Robert Baxter and Engin and all these people falling out. This should be private. You are a business. You need to be professional. You should be working in private, over messages, in person. I don't care, but you should be working together on this, not against each other. Okay, and that's another problem that I feel like Engin's maybe had in the past is he just falls out with people and he deletes comments, and he just, as soon as you don't agree with one of his practices, he just deletes you and deletes it off. And I don't think this is the attitude that people need to have towards arm wrestling. I feel like all feedback is good feedback. And quite honestly, as a fan and as someone that wants to sort of grow their career in arm wrestling, this is what I hope to see in the future. And that I would strive towards if someone gave me the opportunity to try and create a better space. We need to try and pull this back and rein it back in. And I think emotions are really high right now. Obviously, all this stuff that's going on online, everyone leaving. It's not the end of the world. I do think it's going to be really stupid if someone tries to open up another league. If Engin tries to open up his own league, I think it's just going to be terrible for the sport. That doesn't need to happen. If Engin's now sold his company and his shares of the company, he needs to happily retire, man. He needs to get himself laid. He needs to go and fucking get a villa or an island or some shit in the middle of fucking nowhere and just relax for a few years. Because he was once an amazing arm wrestler and he was once a very, very good promoter, and it's just been gradually going downhill. And I think his attitude towards some of the athletes, to the fans, and to people who don't agree with him, I think it's very unprofessional, and I don't think it's good enough, and it's really childish, actually. So my whole take on this, really, to bring this to a conclusion, is that we need to sort of work together as a community to try and fix this. Although it's not our problem, it's East versus West problem, and I understand that they've apologised, and that's all and well, but all hope isn't lost now that Engin's left and everything. And I don't like the whole sides thing as well, picking a side, picking Engin, picking Robert Baxter. It's like, grow up. Do you know what I mean? Like, grow up, just pick arm wrestling. Don't pick Robert Baxter, don't pick Engin, pick arm wrestling, okay? You don't have to pick a side. It's immature. There's no point, and it doesn't drive arm wrestling forward. And this whole bandwagon of people that are jumping on the Engin train, it's like, okay, well done. Like, now you've got nothing to show for it, and it's just stupid. It's just stupid. So, like I said, I think we need to work together as a team to sort of bring everything forward. I really think that East versus West need to just take a break, honestly. They need to get their business under control. They need to get everyone on the same page, and they need to hire people and production and crew that know what they're doing, because it's terrible seeing the mouse fly around the screen and all the size measurements are wrong, and you can't see the people walking in, and the audio issues are acting up, and the lighting looks crap, and then they can't flick between cameras, and then you've got Engin coming up and, you know, telling the referees that was a pin, and then you've got, it's just shit. It's just shit. Pull it together, take some time off, figure it out, and then come back. There's no rush right now. There's no rush for matches, okay? There's loads of matches, there's loads of athletes, they're all brilliant, but there's no rush. Just take some time, figure it out, then come back. And I promise you that the arm wrestling community will love you a lot more for it and will respect East versus West a lot more for it. Whoever that is, whoever that ends up being. But pull it together, come back, and let's just try and make this work for everyone. Anyway, that was sort of my verdict there. Let me know what you guys think below. Obviously, emotions are a little bit high right now. So, I haven't wrote anything down. This is off the top of my head. So if I've got anything wrong, please let me know. Obviously, I'll correct it. But yeah, I want to know your take on it as well. I just really think the whole thing's a bit stupid and childish. And honestly, if Engin's going to sell it off, good riddance, man. Like, you're done. See you later. Who's next? Who's gonna bring this next? And that's all I care about, is like just trying to push it forward instead of one step forward, two steps back. We just need to keep going. We need to keep going. So let me know what you think. If you have any ideas or suggestions, I'd love to hear it. Do excuse the fit. I just come back from work, so I'm not looking all too best right now. But yeah, it's been nice to make this little video, although it's been a pretty intense day for the arm wrestling community. I feel like I did need to get it off my chest. And yeah, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Stay massive.